Meow.
You suck. Way too easy. All right, meow. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Russ Hilk. I'm here with John Shultz and Jeremy Hamill. Today we're going to talk about that's the Facebook pixel. So we really have two goals today. The first goal is to kind of get some insight from one of the industry experts, and that's John. In the second part of today's cast, we are going to talk with Jeremy specifically about how to install it on a WordPress site. I think today's going to take about half an hour, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but we're going to do our best to try to make it fun and entertaining. John, how are you today?
I'm great, Russ. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us on this snowy day here in Minnesota.
Yeah, it is snowy, yes.
Jeremy, I noticed you got a hat on today. Who are you representing?
This is Fred Wilson, Auction Service.
Now, Jeremy is one of our rising stars at Wavebid and Auction Services. He also loves wearing auctioneer memorabilia and apparel. So if you have anything you want to send him, he will definitely be your mannequin.
Yep. I'll give you the address. It'll be down in the description. Send whatever you got. I'll wear it.
All right, meow.
Whatever I've got? Whatever I've got.
Yep. Do it.
All right.
So that's the challenge. If you send it to Jeremy, he will wear it, and I will make sure it gets out in social media.
Game on. Russ, don't you have that cat suit that he can go meow on with on the show?
You know, I don't know if there's an official Wavebid cat suit, but I will certainly check the closet. And like I said, if there is, it'll go right on social media, which is a perfect transition. John, is Facebook going to go away?
It may go away in the future, but at this current moment, it's not going away.
Maybe you could give 60 seconds of background on how you've used Facebook to transition your marketing within the company you're working for today.
So we've transitioned our marketing very much so away from traditional media, print media in particular, to a digital media, digital marketing. And partly because we watched where are the users at within where the users congregating within the world. And we noticed this trend, people are congregating obviously online, and in particular, they're congregating themselves on social media and Facebook in particular. Like 70% of the United States population that has internet is on Facebook. So when you look at that number, you just go, okay, that's where people are hanging out. That's where I need to be marketing. It used to be that people hung out with the newspaper or at the local coffee shop, so we'd hang brochures in the coffee shop or have ads in the newspaper or those things. But as people have transitioned to online, where are they hanging out? They're hanging out online, and in particular in social media sites.
Awesome. And what we're going to talk about today is specifically the Facebook pixel, which takes Facebook marketing from where it is to a level that really was only imaginable a couple of years ago. And John is really at the forefront of exploring the Facebook pixel and kind of cutting edge marketing for the auction industry. And if you were going to do a shameless plug, John, where an auctioneer could go to get an in-depth look at this kind of information, where could they go to learn more about it?
A couple of different ways. Shameless plug would be go to the NAA, National Auctioneers Association, and go and take the Auction Marketing Management Designation course. That's a 3-day course we offer. It's 8 hours a day for 3 days. That is nothing but digital marketing and advanced digital marketing, how to measure and how to do it. That would be my shameless plug for the National Auctioneers Association. Aside from that, a website I really like is johnloomer.com, JONLOOMER.com. He has fantastic information every single day on Facebook and Facebook marketing that I just eat up every day. And he's always on the cutting edge. It seems like something gets released by Facebook today, and by tomorrow he's got an insight tutorial. This is how you use this to get customers to your product.
Excellent. So we're going to talk about the Facebook pixel with John, and then we're going to transition to Jeremy, where he's going to go step by step on how to install it on your WordPress site. Now, if you don't use WordPress, there's going to be a plethora of information available on YouTube or through other internet resources. If you happen to be an auction services customer, this is kind of where this originated from. Auction services would be happy to implement this technology on your website, and Jeremy can talk a little bit more about that. But in a nutshell, John, can you explain the Facebook pixel?
So the Facebook pixel, in a nutshell, it's a tracking device, if you will, on your website that tracks any visitor to your website, regardless of source. No matter how they got to your website, it tracks them if they're a Facebook user. So if you're a Facebook user and you come to my website, it tracks you. It actually picks up that you visited our website, whether you came from a newspaper ad or print media or an AdWords campaign or Facebook for the matter. You come to our website, it tracks you, and then it adds you to a list within the controls of Facebook that says, okay, these are the people that have visited your website, or more powerfully for me, people that have visited specific pages on your website.
What would be an example of one of those pages, John?
So perhaps it's people that have visited a specific auction page on your website. So we have a real estate auction coming up in the middle of April in Wisconsin. So right now I've got a list that's tracking just people that have visited that auction page of our website, which allows me to then market those people digitally, even though they didn't necessarily come to our website through a digital source.
Can you say that one more time?
So it allows me to market to people that have visited the website. It's called remarketing is the concept here. They visited our website, and we then send marketing back out to them in a digital format on Facebook, despite the fact that they go, well, how did they find us? And you've had this happen. We all have. We search Google for something, and suddenly it follows us all over the internet, whatever this product is. That's the same concept here we're doing, and we just use this Facebook pixel to do that.
So, John, what you're telling me as a auctioneer, I can get people to my website, because getting them to the website seems like the easy part, but they may spend 30 seconds, they may spend 2 minutes, and then they go off and they're looking at something else on the internet. When they return to Facebook, right in their feed, you can now put a targeted ad directed to them about your auction because you know they've already been on your website.
Absolutely. We know they've visited that page of our website, whatever that page is, and we can send them an ad then about what they visited on our website. Hey, do you want more information about that real estate? Hey, we have an open house next week, right? Because we already know they're interested in the product. They've been to the website, so we can send them targeted from, oh, hey, the online auction's closing tomorrow. Don't forget, the online auction is closing tomorrow.
So from an auctioneer's perspective, if that just sinks in, that is incredible. I mean, that is mind-blowingly awesome. That would be like somebody seeing your ad, to take it way back, like way back 5 years ago. Right. That would be like someone seeing your ad in the newspaper, and then 2 days later they open the sports section, and there's a half a page ad with your auction coming up because that they're interested in, because you know they looked at that ad in the classifieds.
Absolutely. And
That's
you can take that a step farther. I mean, maybe take it away from a buyer standpoint. Maybe it's somebody that visits your services page of your website, trying to find out more about your services that you offer as an auctioneer. You can send targeted ads to them just saying, hey, we do auctions. Hey, this is one of the benefits of doing auctions with us. Hey, and you've got a campaign that's set up that speaks to the seller because they visited the seller's information page of your website, right?
So this has to cost thousands of dollars to set up, because the value that this represents is really never been affordable for companies other than General Mills or Coca-Cola. What kind of costs are we talking about, John?
Setup costs less than $40 or $50. I mean, you're going to go to your web host, whoever they are. We use Auction Services as our web host. They were able to set it up for a minimal amount of cost. I think it was less than $100. I mean, it was nothing. I don't know what you guys charge now. It was nothing. To install that code, which is free from Facebook, no cost for that, and then it immediately starts gathering the data. So, I mean, we're talking nothing. And then to actually be sending them ads, whether they're buyers or sellers or whomever, we're talking a well-written ad, you're talking 30 cents or less to get them back to your website.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. In the newspaper, I would pay $1,000 for a fancy black and white ad in the classifieds.
Yep.
With Facebook, we can remarket. And Jeremy, I challenge you to make this into an infographic that you're about to put on the screen. Thank you,
nice.
Editing. Where we've got our website, and then they get distracted by like meowing cats or something, and they go to Facebook, But once they're on Facebook, they see an ad that drives you right back to John's website. That's remarketing. And you can see that right on this infographic. Thank you, Jeremy. But John, you do that. It's per person who engages or per impression? How do you pay for it?
So you can pay for it a couple of different ways. You can pay per impression if you want. I found it more effective to pay per click. So when somebody actually leaves Facebook, comes to our website, I pay then. Typically, depending on what you're selling, that's in the 20 or 30 cents to get somebody off of Facebook to my website. And it could be as low. I've got one right now where it's a very specific asset. I'm at 5 cents a click. We've had 14,000 people click to our website at 5 cents a piece. I mean, it's a non-number.
So just to put that in perspective again, because I've spent, just like you, hundreds of thousands of dollars marketing my auctions over the years. For 50 cents to $1, I can put a brochure in the mail to some random person. Or for 30 cents, I can re-engage somebody who's already shown interest and drive them right back to my website, where if there's online bidding, they can engage right in the process right there.
Absolutely.
I hope our listeners understand how incredible that is. That is just mind-blowingly incredible. So that's remarketing. But, John, you took it one step further because cutting edge wasn't enough. You wanted to get to bleeding edge. Can you talk to us a little bit about a custom group or a lookalike audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So you create this custom group. So say it's this real estate auction. We create a group. It's tracking just those people that visited that real estate auction. But I want to find more people that look like that, right? That's the whole idea. Okay, these are the type of people that are interested in this asset. I want to find more people like that. So I take that group of people that have visited that website, I give it to Facebook, which they already have the data, and I say, can you create a group of people, and this is up to as low as 1% and as high as 10% of the population of whatever country you choose. So I choose the United States in this particular case. So then, and I just did this afternoon, say, okay, create an audience of people that look like the people that have visited this real estate auction. And it gave me a list in about half an hour of 1.9 million people in the United States that look like these people. Now, and from that group, then I was able to demographically sort them. I said, I only want these 5 states because the real estate's in Wisconsin. Somebody from California isn't likely to buy a residential lot in Wisconsin. So that got me down to about 500,000 people, 550, I think. And for $1,000, I get, now that everybody has a budget like this, but for $1,000, I'll reach every single one of those people over the course of the next month. Every single person that looks like my target audience will have an ad impression in front of them in the course of the next month.
So to say that back to you, you can, well, never mind you, Facebook is willing on your behalf to look at a group of people and find like characteristics.
Yep.
They are interested in the outdoors. They enjoy hunting. They are men between the ages of 40 and 60 with $100,000 of disposable income. You're not even going to ask for it. Facebook is going to say these are the traits that these people have in common, and these are people that went to your website.
Yep.
From that, they will actually say, and here are all the other people within a geographic area, or however you choose to manage that data, that are similar in profile.
Correct.
So if you had like a piece of hunting ground, you could, through Facebook's algorithms, let Facebook do all the heavy lifting of trying to find that ideal target to market that property to.
Absolutely.
And they charge how much to do this?
Yeah, nothing.
How much?
Nothing.
So all those days I used to spend looking up SIC codes and calling about mailing lists, and you never knew what they'll do it for free, and it takes what, a couple of weeks?
Half an hour.
Wow. So in half an hour wow, that's pretty powerful.
And you take that to the next step. I mean, so with that, so we're continuing to send people to that website, right? And every day, Facebook is updating the audience, the lookalike audience, the bigger audience, every day based on the actual people that look at that website or that website page. So it's continually self-feeding and self-learning on itself. It's getting to that machine learning that's really popular right now that we're talking about in marketing and technology worlds, is allowing machines to learn. Well, it's learning on itself. And the ads are optimized to send to people that are likely to leave Facebook and look at our website. That's how we pay for those ads.
And the reality is that the more successful Facebook is at delivering you the right people, the more money you'll spend with them, the more money that they'll make. So they're a partner with you looking for the success that you want.
Absolutely, because they're in the end, since social media, it's free to join Facebook. That means we're the product as a consumer, as users of this social media site. It just happens to be that social media is the vehicle by which they gather all this data to resell to people like us that are marketers, right? So we're the product as a user of Facebook, and the people that actually make the money for them are us advertisers.
Now, I was fortunate enough to be able to attend John's class from the NAA, and it's less expensive if you're a member of the National Auctioneers Association, but I believe it's open to anyone who wants to attend.
Absolutely.
You don't, from attending that class, I'll be the first to tell you that you don't have to be a technologist. You don't have to type at 100 words per minute. You don't have to be bleeding edge anything to be able to do what John and I are talking about. Now, the first time it may take a little bit longer. A class like John's will certainly help, but the potential that this unlocks is really available to anybody who's willing to invest the minimal amount of time to do it. Now, Jeremy's going to walk us through in a couple minutes on how to actually install that pixel, or like John said, if you're an auctionservices.com customer, we can put that pixel on your page for less than $100. And in future tutorials, if John is kind enough to come back, we can maybe even look at some specific campaigns and how to set them up. But we really wanted this to just be an introduction to the Facebook pixel and how you can use it. Now, John, without talking specifics, what kind of success have you seen?
An extreme amount of success, to the point that this is Facebook marketing is the number one, or social media marketing, the number one marketing method that we use. It used to not be, but it's the first thing we look to do, and it's the last thing we look to cut from a budget. So it's crucial to our success now.
How have you leveraged Facebook and social media when you're looking for a deal? How have you used it with your sellers?
So we run specific campaigns. Instead of marketing auctions, we actually market ads looking for sellers in specific geographical areas or specific places, sending them to specific pages on our website, where we then use the pixel that we just talked about to track them. So then we know that they've been to our website, and then we can remarket to them with our services and capture their information and continue to try and move them through a sales process and squeeze them out as a seller at the end.
So, Jeremy, I have been hogging John's time. I think he's brilliant. He's effervescent. He's just so interesting to talk to about technology. What questions do you have for John?
One of the big questions, because there are a lot of misconceptions about the Facebook pixel going around. And so one question I have is, what are the biggest mistakes you see people make when they're first entering Facebook marketing?
Boy, that's a great question. And thanks for the compliment about being effervescent, Russ. I had to look that word up, but I know what it means now.
You're brilliant.
I know, I'm bubbly.
You're glowing.
One of the biggest mistakes I find them is that they install the pixel and then they stop there. They don't understand, okay, I got it on there, now what do I do? They don't take the time to explore, how can I actually leverage this data and then take it a step further and a step further and allow the Facebook machine that it is to run and do what it does so well, which is algorithmically find people to accomplish certain tasks. So much of what we see on the surface of Facebook we think is, oh, promoted posts. And one of the objectives, the main objective of a promoted post, Facebook states, is post engagement. It's not actually to get somebody to your website. So that's another fail you see, is, oh, I'm going to put all my money on a promoted post. Well, the objective there is to get likes, clicks, comments on the post, not necessarily to get people to your website. So don't allow yourself to get stuck in this, oh, I'm just going to do promoted posts because that's what I see. Now, a lot of what you see for ads on Facebook aren't promoted posts. They're actually ads with a specific engagement that we want to accomplish, which would be clicks to the website. We want to get them to click to our website. So use the power of Facebook's algorithmic learning and allow it to learn about who your customers are and optimize your ads to accomplish your goals.
Meow.
John, in your opinion, do likes to your Facebook page have any value anymore?
No, I don't think links to your Facebook page have any value beyond bragging rights, or you using them against your competitor to say, oh, my competitor's got 5,000 people that like their page. We've got 90,000 people that like our Facebook page. Obviously, the marketplace trusts us and believes in us. It has value that way, but it doesn't have value as far as from a marketing standpoint, a tangible value. There's the intangible of 90,000 people going, oh, they like Graph, right? I mean, there's some value there.
Right. But minimally when it comes to conversions or dollars in your pocket.
Make tangible that value. In fact, our marketing doesn't even reach out to the people that like our Facebook page.
Right. Okay. Now, one other thought that I've seen as I delve in social media, especially on the fringes, are you doing anything with video on Facebook?
We do video, what you would classify as video, on all of our ads now. Not so much on our promoted posts, but on our ads. We put together a slideshow of 7 or 8 items, which Facebook allows. It's a tool that they have that you can add transitions, and all I do is upload 7 photos and say, oh, I want them to be on there for 4 seconds each, and I want a transition to look like that. So it auto plays like a video, and it transitions through the pictures as a video, and you can click at any time to get more information on our website. So yeah, that way I have. And what I really am going to start exploring, I don't know if you've seen this, but here within the last week, Facebook has rolled out that you can have a still picture and a video in the same ad right next to each other. So you've got one piece of the ad that doesn't move, and you've got another piece of the ad that starts moving. And I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I've really been, my eyeballs keep catching them. Whoa, what am I looking at there? And so I'm going to start experimenting with a video and a still picture all in the same ad, because I think that's more effective than maybe either or, you know.
So you heard it from John, and we're going to transition to Jeremy for the real nuts and bolts. But John, I want to thank you for talking about remarketing, which is the ability to take a contact from your website and then show them an ad for your business right on Facebook to get them right back to your website. And to talk a little bit about the custom group and the lookalike group, where you can take a buyer base that you're targeting and expand that to people with similar interests to really gain more interest and attention in your auction. What closing thoughts do you have as we hit the halfway point of this video cast?
In closing, it's not as scary as it sounds. Like, you hear all this and go, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. But like you had said earlier, take a little bit, work on it, figure it out, go watch some cat videos that go meow, come back, work on it some more, take another little step. And take it in pieces. Don't try and go and do it all at once, because then you'll overwhelm yourself. So definitely take it in little small bites.
Excellent. Now, you have a catchphrase that you used a lot, something about trust. Do you happen to remember what that is?
Yeah, in fact, it's if you were in my office, it's here. We'll move the webcam. I don't know if you'll see that, but in God we trust. All others bring data. That is stuck on my wall in my office. So that is right there, one of my mantras. In God we trust, all others bring data.
That is fantastic. John, if somebody had a question for you and they wanted to track you down, how would they do it?
One of 2 ways. Shoot me an email, john@graphauction.com. That's GRAFE auction.com. Or give me a call, 612-432-4015. And that phone number works best with a text message as opposed to an actual call in my world. But
excellent. John, I want to thank you for taking your time. Up next, we have Jeremy Hamill, and he's going to do a technical dive. Now, what I'd suggest as Jeremy goes through this is feel free to pause the video. If you want to try to go step by step, our goal is to get that pixel onto your WordPress site. So as John said, you can begin the journey. Getting it on there, that's part of the battle. Getting it so that you're getting and receiving good data, that's what we're after. So with that, John, I'd like to thank you for your time, and we're going to pop it right on over to Jeremy.
You guys are welcome. Thank you very much.
Have a great one, buddy.
You too.
And
John, I have one more question for you. When it comes to marketing in the online realm, there are a lot of tools available. You have things like having a website that has the proper Google Analytics plugged in or another analytics option. That's wonderful.
Sorry, last time I'm done.
How do these tools play together well? Are there some that work synergistically? Are there some that are completely independent? At what point do you only use Facebook versus, branching out for AdWords and the other options out there?
I think you have to take a holistic approach to marketing and test what works. What works for one asset might not work for another asset. So the big thing is to be using, like you had mentioned, Google Analytics. So we're always measuring. In God we trust, all others bring data. So I'm always measuring what's working, what's not working, and always testing. 20% of our budget for every auction goes to testing a new media, whether that be Twitter or Facebook or newspaper or pick your favorite thing. We're always testing and always measuring and then recomparing and reconfiguring our marketing. So it needs to be a synergistic marketing campaign that works together. Everything is the same message from multiple different media. You're seeing the same thing over and over and over. I don't want to lead somebody down the path of, Facebook marketing is the only way to go, or social media marketing, because it's not necessarily. It's what's going to work for you and what does your data show you, and don't allow yourself to be like, oh, I'm going all in because John said I'm going all in. Make sure you're measuring and setting baselines and then building off those baselines.
Wonderful. Thank you, John.
Yeah, meow.
Meow you later.
All right, so when it comes to installing your Facebook pixel onto your auction services website, you're going to need two main components. One is access to the back end of your website. You can actually get that if you email support@auctionservices.com. They will make sure you get that. The other component is your Facebook pixel. And I actually have a sample pixel here so we can show you how this works. If you look on the pixel code, there's this line here that says FBQ init, and then it has a number there. That number there is your Facebook pixel ID, and that's what we're going to need to link your Facebook pixel into your auction services website. Go ahead and copy out that Facebook pixel ID, and then let's go into the back end of your website. So the next step is actually going to be go into the plugin section of your website, and then from here we can actually go to add new. From this point, it's pretty simple. We can actually just search for Facebook Pixel. And then this is the Pixel plugin that I'd recommend installing, WP Facebook Pixel. I already went through and installed it. Just hit the Install Now button on yours to go ahead and install it. From there, all we have to do is place in that Pixel ID, which we can go over here to Settings, and then WP Facebook Pixel Settings. And then we can paste in our pixel ID and then go down and hit save. That's all it takes. Thank you. Okay, I was going to ask another question and I started with meow and then Russ cut me off, so it's literally just
Russ cut you off.
so nothing else, just me saying meow.
Are you still
Meow, John, I have one more question for you. There are a lot of other tools involved in the online marketing realm. You have things like having a site that has the properly optimized analytics.
Dude, you gotta start. There's no way we can use that.
All right.
All right, Meow. I would consider that a success. Meow.
Yep, but I'm just gonna take it from right there and move it right here.